¡Contéstame!
El cadáver de uno de los jóvenes desaparecidos en Guerrero, México, cuando policías dispararon contra ellos.
Los compañeros de Julio César Lonrán
y 43 continúan desaparecidos. Nuestro enviado especial, Joaquín.
In the southern Mexican state of Guerrero, protests are continuing over the disappearance of 43 students who have been missing for more than 2 weeks. The students are from a rural teachers' college called Ayotzinapa. They had gone to the small city of Iguala to gather funds when police ambushed their buses.
Fears over the students' fate have escalated following the discovery of 10 mass graves.
What I can say is that the first mass grave we found, the very first one from where we already have results, I can say the remains don't match the DNA of the families of the missing students. The discovery of these mass graves confirmed the level of danger of this group that operate in the region called Guerrero Unidos.
And these students, they were politically involved in their communities, and so that makes us think this is political.
The state has abandoned its commitment to education, a commitment that under the Constitution it's supposed to have. And these rural normales constitute part of that larger social program of public education and commitment to the countryside.
Where police are suspected of participating in the disappearances of dozens of students.
Pónganse en nuestro lugar, en el lugar de los padres de familia, no solo de los compañeros caídos.
44 students from a teachers' college in the state of Guerrero went missing last Friday, after 3 buses they seized were shot at by cops in the city of Iguala. The students were unarmed. At least 4 students died in the shooting. The disappeared students come from the Ayotzinapa Teachers College, a public school where education is steeped in leftist ideology.
Estamos siempre en la lucha social, apoyando a todo tipo de luchadores sociales. Ahí estamos.
Students here take their protesting seriously. They're known for hijacking trucks and blocking roads to rally against the poor conditions inside their school. Prosecutors in the state of Guerrero have detained 22 policemen who were involved in Friday's shooting.
Así también se cuenta con algunos equipos de telefonía celular, propiedad de los hoy probables responsables, por lo que se están realizando las diligencias correspondientes a fin de obtener redes técnicas de vínculo.
Explain the situation in Guerrero right now.
On September 26th, municipal police in the city of Iguala in Guerrero State, Mexico, attacked several busloads of students from the rural teachers college in Ayotzinapa, killing a total of 6 people, wounding more than 20, and disappearing 43 students. One of the students' bodies was found at 10 in the morning with his face, eyes, and ears removed. Since then, the students and the family members of those disappeared have been demanding that the state act to find their sons and their colleagues alive, to return them to them alive.
And now the federal police is being sent in. Do you think that that's going to change anything in terms of the search?
Sadly, the federal police have been on the ground for weeks and nothing really has changed. The disturbing thing here is that this, again, is one of these cases, I think, of a massacre foretold. For years, there have been stories of mass disappearances of Central American migrants in the northern border regions. All of these mass graves and mass disappearances were thought to simply be criminal organizations fighting each other. And hence the indignation, the social mobilizations necessary to pressure the government to investigate. I think the Mexican state strategy will be to strip any political content from the violence by saying it was a drug cartel and the kids provoked them, right? They'll try and not make the kids look too bad because that would have, I think, devastating consequences on the ground in Mexico where people are justly livid and outraged at this.
There were mass graves found in the hunt for these students, and it turns out that the students actually weren't the ones buried in those graves. What does that say in terms of the state of violence in the region and the fact that investigators are sort of just tripping over these horrible sites of death?
Well, 2 questions now, right? Who are those people? what happened to them, who did that to them, and then also, of course, where are the 43 students.
So why target students?
I think the Ayotzinapa Teachers College is one of the most underfunded institutions in the country. Its students are from some of the poorest, most economically marginalized or brutalized municipalities in the country, many from indigenous communities and from rural farm working communities.
But are they seen as a threat to
Absolutely.
the Mexican state?
Absolutely.
Explain that.
The Mexican state has a discourse of hate and criminalization of the students that's very, very long-standing. It's been called a nursery for guerrilla fighters for decades.
So this is a school that's been targeted for decades. It seems like everyone who is outside of Mexican politics or a former politician or an analyst, everyone but the actual current Mexican government agrees that the drug war is a failure. All these studies come out, these opinions, right? So if it's a failure, how is it and will it end?
The drug war itself has been entirely successful at maintaining the drug war. It's not been successful at anything else. It constantly expands and maintains and fuels the warring itself. And the war is very good business.